Good evening, Wisconsin, Michigan, the Midwest, whoever we got out there. Super appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We got a little, what's this now? Come on, camera. Come on. We haven't had a camera issue in a while, so this is interesting. Give it a second here. All right, there we go. We're kind of focused. Well, as focused as we're going to get. Appreciate everybody stopping out. Hopefully, you're having a great start to the week. Again, not too often we get to go back to back nights with the podcast, but looking forward to it. Obviously, with the holiday during this week, always grants unique opportunities when it comes to trying to schedule around holidays. So, really excited for today's guest. We'll get into that here in just a moment. Got to give a shout out to our sponsors, Higher Love. Much love to them. And everything they do as far as providing safe access for legal cannabis up in the UP. It's worth the drive. Again, if you haven't been there, make sure you check it out. Got a great staff up there. Got a promo code. Make sure you get that discount. Much love to the folks at Higher Love. And again, don't sleep on that new Blue Dream. Make sure you check it out. Heath is in the building. He's the first one here. Let's go, Heath. Get it, baby. Welcome, buddy. Hope your evening's going well. Thank you for swinging by and stopping out. And then also the podcast, the promo code Love Podcast is in the comments for you to copy as well for Higher Love. Speaking of awesome folks, we also got Ignite Dispensary down here too. It's my right, but on the camera it might look like left. I don't know. That's way too complex for me to figure out right now. Shout out to Ignite Dispensary. They got locations in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Spooner, Hayward, Superior, Manitowoc, New Richmond. Awesome products, awesome folks. And if you're looking for that Wisconsin product, that is a place to be. Make sure you check them out and tell them Bobby Bean sent you. All right. Tonight's guest, super excited to have Kevin Fortune with us. I'm going to pull him up on the screen here. Kevin, how are we doing, sir?
I'm very well. And yourself?
I'm doing pretty well. Really excited to have you on with us this evening. We'll kind of let you introduce yourself, and if you could tell us a little bit about who you're with.
Okay. My name is Kevin Fortune, and I have the nickname of KK, the King of Liberty. King Kevin, the King of Liberty. I'm a big person for liberty-minded, not affiliated with any party or anything, but just liberty. And I was founded, and I'm the national CEO of a group called the Life Pack, LYFEPAC, Life Pack. And our motto is to put liberty into action, bringing life back to America. The L stands for less government. Y is for your individual freedoms and rights. And the Y, that was the Y is your freedoms. The F is for free markets, free enterprise, and the E is for Indian aggression. So that fits into what we're talking about tonight. All of those things, less government, get them out of our business, out of our wallet, out of our bedrooms, out of our groceries, out of everything. And free markets for green, for everything else. Your rights and freedom should be first, and nobody should be aggressing on you, telling you what to do and you can't do.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And obviously, I kind of focus on the one of the liberties that I feel like people should have, and obviously, you focus on kind of the broader spectrum. So appreciate you reaching out to me and the partnership or just the camaraderie we've had and getting to know each other. Kevin's going to be at the Buds and Brew event with us coming up this weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend. Wow, I almost had a heart attack. Next weekend in Milwaukee. Looking forward to that. Jill, hey, how's it going? Thanks for swinging by. So Kevin's going to be joining us June 8th, and then also for HempFest down in Madison. So Kevin's a great ally. He brings a lot to the table as far as just knowledge and getting things done. So really appreciate you stopping out, Kevin, and let's get you some questions rolling here. How did you get involved with Life Pack, and what motivates you in your role?
Well, really quickly, several years ago, I've always been an activist, and my mom was a big civil rights activist, anti-war activist, so I grew up in it. And of course, I swore never to be like her, but I was, politically involved, kind of. And then I was looking to the left and right. I'm like, hey, nobody fits in. And I really had gave up on voting and everything. And I was listening to a radio show, and they were interviewing these different candidates. One of them was a Republican one day. The next day was a Democrat. Then the next day was the Libertarian candidate. And they were talking about it. And I was like, wow, that kind of sounds like me. We're more socially liberal, but totally physically conservative. And so anyway, I went and looked them up. It was so funny. I was looking them up on Wikipedia, and it was like all the different things that the libertarians stood for. And it was like, like legalizing drugs, all drugs, and legalizing prostitution, sex. And I thought, drugs and sex? Hey, I'm a libertarian, definitely. Okay.
Oh,
So, what a combination. So actually,
yeah.
I started following that movement. And I originally, several years ago, started another PAC called Liberty America, because I was going to really change things. I'm really about action, and that's what I'm known for. A lot of people talk and email and send letters and all, and that's good. But I like to stand up. I like to show up, just to put my liberty into action. And a lot of people like to complain or recognize the problem, but let's start working on solutions and get with others and do that. And a lot of people didn't want to work with me, and it kind of fizzled out. But things got so bad. One day, Damon is a friend of mine, was on a podcast with you. He just made that call one day. He's like, Kevin, somebody's got to stand up and do something. He said, the country is just going under, and it was so funny. Mm-hmm. Then the next day, somebody else called me, and like from New York, and they were like, Kevin, a lot of people won't do stuff, but you will. So we started a podcast called The Liberty Show with Kevin Fortune. You can still see some of the old episodes on YouTube. And then I actually had a radio show in New York and up in Minnesota called The Liberty Show, which we probably will be bringing back at the end of the year. But anyway, that grew, but we were like, okay, we're still sitting down talking, but we need to actually be able to do something. So I formed a political action committee, which is what the word PAC stands for, where we can support candidates and support legislation to change things and, make it all legal. But we're not connected to any political party. We're not connected to any organization or anything. So, it doesn't matter. We have people on the left, on the right, just people that are for freedom and liberty.
Nope, that's a great.
That's a long.
No, hey, you're good, man. But I get it, because that's something that I try to always keep in mind, is especially something as big in a change as legalization. It's going to take both sides. It frustrates me anytime things turn into not so much what makes sense, but I'm on this side of the aisle, so I can't be on that side of the it's just. Yeah, it's crazy. So glad to hear you're one of the guys that doesn't necessarily have anybody to answer to, if you will. I think that's we need more of that.
Right.
So
not on anybody's payroll.
There you go. Fair enough. So I know you guys are definitely helping with the fight for legalization here in Wisconsin. But what are the primary issues Life PAC focuses on, and what does that look like?
Well, like I was saying, the LYFE is just, that's our fundamentals. Just, less government and the control that they're trying to have over our society, the lack of freedoms that, they claim we have in the Bill of Rights, whatever. It's like, where are they? But it's just getting worse and worse. We focus on a lot of things, but primarily this year, we have really been looking towards cannabis legalization, which is something that libertarians have been doing since the 70s. It's really funny. Legalizing drugs, same-sex marriage, it started back in the 60s when they said blacks and whites couldn't get married. And they're like, hey, we're fighting that. You can marry who you want. Same thing with drugs. Do what you want to with your body. And even the Second Amendment, which is really funny. When they started our country, they wanted to have a gun, and they even encouraged it. But after the Civil War, and they freed the slaves, a lot of that gun legalization came into PAC because they didn't want African Americans to have guns, which was really funny, really ironic. But so we really have been the right to bear arms in a safe, in a sensible way, as well as cannabis legalization is really been something that we're really promoting. A lot of states have taken it on, but there's still some states, I won't say any names, but it begins with the W and the I, but they're just stuck on stupid. And it just goes to our beliefs. The state government should not tell you what you can do, what you cannot do medically or recreationally, as well as it's your freedom, to do what you want with your body and your life, as well as there should be free markets. You shouldn't have to get a license for a dispensary and pay people and bribe people just to, make money. This is capitalism. It's free markets. So we say we're a capitalistic country. This shouldn't even be.
Nope, 100% with you on that, my man. Very cool. As far as what specific, are there any specific cannabis policies that Life PAC is currently advocating for in Wisconsin? Or is it still kind of in the early stages of just getting into getting knocking on doors and trying to get somebody to listen?
It's still in the early stages, but the one good thing about us, and this is what I'm known for. Well, I'm known for action and getting stuff done, and I'm not afraid. I'll cuss the governor, the Pope out like I will anybody else. But I was reading a book. I'm a connector. I'm good at connecting people. One thing about life that we have people all over the country, from New York to Florida, Atlanta, up in Seattle, and we bring that umbrella all under one umbrella. And we like to work with other people. It's not about the life pack or about me. It's about, getting the job done. We want to see people have the freedom to smoke, to drink, to eat cannabis, whatever. I come from an Indian background. My great grandmother was a full-blooded Cherokee Indian, and she was funny. She was a preacher, Pentecostal, holy rolling, but she smoked a peace pipe to the day she died, and she lived to be 104. Okay. So,
yeah.
So, but I always tell people, I said, if you're going to outlaw, a plant in the ground, what are we going to do? Outlaw collard greens or outlaw sunflower? You know what I mean? It's like, get real. But so to answer your question, because I have this packet, I've been doing activism, and I own my own company, the Fortune Agency, which we do some lobbyist activism, public policy stuff. I kind of know how the game works, and it is a game, political game. It's turned into that. It's not about the people or the citizens. It's a game. And so I know that what we really want to try to do is work on medical here, even though we do believe in all of it. It's your right to do whatever you want with it. They shouldn't even have labels and categories and all of that kind of stuff. I was really offended the other week. Well, we're going to reschedule. There should be no scheduling. You know, what are you going to start scheduling Cheerios or something like that? You know what I mean?
Different tiers.
So, So, but I think that the wise thing, and this is what we did. I lived in Georgia for many years, and it was about as rough as here. I mean, I call them the Bible thumpers down there. And, they're the hypocrite thumpers as anything else. But, they wouldn't even consider it. They wouldn't talk about it. But we started with the medical, and we worked with different groups. So what we really want to do, number one, is really try to get the medical going, the hemp going, which really, will produce a lot of income, a lot of taxes for the state, which they love to hear that, so they can spend our money. So I think that's kind of where we want to start. But the other thing is just bringing people together. I reached out to you, and I've got some other people, and just connect us all together. Our PAC also, good thing about a PAC is you can donate money to legislation legally. We're like, as a nonprofit, can't do that, but we're non-connected PAC, so we can do that, so that we can help sponsor events, and we're willing to sponsor people, support people. It's not all about us.
Hey, that's awesome to hear, man. Like Javin says in the comments here, if we can get medical, rec will follow. That's how every other state has done it. So I think we're all in agreement on that. Excuse me. Got a comment here. How do you believe cannabis legalization will impact criminal justice reform in our state?
Well, since we're in Wisconsin, we got to do a lot of praying.
And
light a lot of candles. I think you guys kind of already know it's a game. They all are, and I like that question because they're all very interconnected and interrelated. The problem is that the political system, we have the military industrial complex, but we also have the penitentiary industrial complex. There is so much money in keeping people locked up. There's so much money in prisons and all of these businesses that sell to the prisons, sell merchandise, that sell food. There's so much money in the different fees and fines, getting lawyers and bonds and all. It's just so much in it. So they don't want to see that go away. So trust me, there's still ways that they want to try to hang on. And then the biggest thing is just controlling people. If they can control people, whether it's through drugs or anything else, they have us. So they want to keep their hands in it. So to answer that question, I see it's totally related. They're going to have to do some reforms, but I don't know how quick and easy. But if we do it the right way, which is what other people, states have done, is take it to the people. And that's one reason I'm really behind Bob and what you're doing, even with this podcast and with the June the 8th event, the Brews and Buzz, and in the Great Miss West Hemp Fest, which is we're going to really make sure that gets well publicized. Because once the people stand up, a lot of times we go to the legislators, make them come to us. And a lot of times when you do stuff like this, The news media, they won't even cover you. They don't want to cover you. Or some of the, they just ignore you. But if you have enough people, enough publicity, enough clout, they're going to have to, they're going to have to know that we're here, and we're going to bring them the evidence, bring them the education, but we're going to get people voting, say, hey, telling their legislative, if you don't vote for this, we're not voting for you anymore. Or if we have to start firing people in the middle of it, I don't mind taking on the government or the system.
100% with you there, and I appreciate the words there. And yeah, I think that's kind of where it's at as far as trying. I think it's been there's not many states left that haven't got some form of legalization. So I think it definitely speaks to the non-normal approach, which is it seems like most states or just in most things trying to get them passed, you got to start by talking to the politicians, that kind of thing. But definitely, I feel that there is power in the voice of the people, and that's what we're all working on. And yeah, that you gave me chills there. I love it, man. That was perfect. And it looks like Green Swan Hemp and Heather agree. They both said amen. And then Javin says it's so unfortunate that a signature campaign isn't an option in Wisconsin. Completely agree with that.
Yeah.
What's your take on that, Kevin? Does that make sense to you that we can't do a ballot initiative?
It's government, and it's so sad because we talk about liberty and freedom in our country, but where is it? The people, we talk about the people's rights. Well, where are they? And we're so hypocritical in our nation, and that just really bothers me. And that's why. But there is a group of people, and that's why I really, like you, younger people, I call you young, and but they're rising up and they're saying, enough is enough. And I love it, and that's why I like to get behind people and support. And that is the key. Support people that are doing stuff. And I like that you're doing stuff. You're putting your liberty into action by really doing this. And it's not easy, but you'd be surprised as we go along how many people will connect with you. When they see what you're doing, they're going to connect. And what happens is politicians and government, they don't lead, they follow. It looks like,
Sure.
Anytime they make a law, trust me, it's because the people have already decided they want to go that way. Just
Sure.
like when they, I give example, when they approved like same-sex marriage, most states had already approved it. Most counties or people were already given benefits. They already doing that. The attitude of the taxpayers and the citizens are already, let's let people be themselves. You don't have to agree with people, let people be themselves. So that's the attitude now. People just they're like, okay, hey, especially for medical, this is helping people. People have seizures and they see it on videos and documentaries. They stop having seizures. I have a visual problem, and people. A lot of people with vision problems, glaucoma, especially, it has helped them. It's been statistics going way back. But this is nothing new. Like I said, the Indians have been using it. And on our podcast, my friend, he's from India. They've been doing this for thousands of years. The Jews, they use cannabis, which was even in the anointing oil when they anointed the King David, in the holy oil that they anointed in church. They had cannabis in it. So, we're acting like this, and this is nothing new. Right. We're just behind.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you definitely hit the nail on the head about it's basically all about connections, especially for me, because I tell you what, man, it's really weird not having this is the first time in my life that I don't have like a performance review or like hey, you're doing this good, but we need you to do this better. So I'm really glad that people like yourself have reached out, because man, otherwise I'm kind of just like, I hope something happens one day. But it's really started to, again, it's all about connections. And even though like right now we don't know the exact fix, we are growing this network. And especially once the time comes, we're not going to be scurrying to find each other. Then it's going to be, hey, remember that guy from over here? Okay, cool. Get this guy over there. So definitely that's awesome.
Can I make a quick comment on that? Real quick. And that is the key. If I share anything, which is what I'm kind of going to talk about on the 8th, it is about teamwork. I just read a really good book called The 1 Minute Millionaire. And it just like, wow. It really, talks about, and even Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich talks about having a mastermind team. But, you got to have a team. And everybody has their place on the team. Even on a water boy is very important on the team if it's hot outside.
Yeah. If you ain't got water.
Yeah. Everybody has their place. So you don't have to be the captain or you don't have to be in charge, but whatever you can do. If you can't donate $1,000, but you can donate $5. If you can't donate a lot of money, you can show up, you can type something, you can, but do your part. but working together is so important. It's a scripture in the Bible says, "A house divided will not stand," and it's just really true that a lot of times I go places because I travel all over the country teaching people. I'm also like a leadership coach, business coach, and just training people, how to do activism and how to grow. And you'd be surprised how divided they are. The civil rights over here, the gay rights over here, the cannabis rights, like come together. You don't have to agree on everything, but come together with common ground and just work together. You've got to support one another and start wherever you're at, if that makes sense. You don't have to be on level 10.
Sure.
If you're on level 1, whatever you can do. And I know we're here for you, and we want to get behind people like you, because I'm very proud of you. I reached out to you, but a lot of people I reach out, they don't want to hear it. You can't tell them anything, or it's all about them. But we're going to make a deal, because we're going to get it legalized here. I'm going to see to it.
Awesome, man. Let's get it. Can you share, wait, what were they talking here? Oh, could you share any success stories from Life Pack's efforts in other states or areas?
Oh, the legal ones I could share?
Yeah.
or the deals behind closed doors.
Yeah. No, probably the legal ones first. No.
What we do a lot, because we support a lot of people. We matter of fact, that's how I met you. We were looking this year. We support a lot of the 420 rallies, putting money up or taking vendor tables, but just supporting. I know being a finance major and a business person, but in activism, the lack of money is usually a problem. Because if you get the money and you can get on the airways with mass media, TV commercial, radio commercial, which are very expensive, newspaper, whole page newspaper ads, things like that, and you can make a difference. Or if you need money to drive around the state or whatever. So we really try to help people. I mean, I've been involved, especially in Georgia. Like I said, it was worse than Wisconsin. They were Bible thumpers. It's sin. That's a drug. It's of the devil. And they came up with all of these false statistics. The CDC is located down. They said, no, it's not right. It's not, there's no medical benefit. But we went to city hall meetings. We went to county board meetings. We went and worked with the police. There's a great group, I think it's Elite, which is the police that are for legalization. And we got with other groups, like I said, networking, connected with people, and we got medical. And even when first we got the cannabis oil. They didn't even want to do medical. You had to start with the oil, and then they only had it for like two ailments. It was so funny. Like, you approved all this for like 2 diseases, and then we went back and we got other different ailments added to that. Then we got more and more. We worked with people in Florida. We've had rallies and protests, but a lot of mine is networking with politicians or with government officials, with hospitals. You've got to get out the norm, if that makes sense. I mean, I'm not saying don't go to the legislators, because they do have a lot of the power, but the biggest thing, take it to the people. And when the people rise up, people are going to listen. Another example, we've worked with a lot of people. I know in Chicago and Denver, as far as the dispensaries, they had all these really strict rules. If you had felonies, if you did this, if you did that, you could not, own a dispensary or get a license. So we have fought that, and we've seen a lot of success. A lot of the licenses were so high that they kept a lot of minorities or ordinary, working class people out. So we fought that, and we got a lot of. I know in Chicago there's one that we've helped get implemented so that anybody could, have access to this and go into business.
Sure. Right on. Great to hear. Another one that popped up here is, do you have any, or here, how do you address concerns from those who are opposed to cannabis legalization? Oh.
Can I say F on your show?
Sure, you can say F.
No. I wouldn't say F them, but forget them. That's the thing. No, honestly, you have to know who you are. And I was telling someone today, my favorite affirmation I wrote years ago is, I don't need anybody's permission to be me. So I really don't care what they think. Now, I do understand that the opposition can be great, but like I said, when you start doing things and 2 or 3 get together, and those 2 or 3 get together with more people, you would be a united force, because it's the right thing. Our government, our country stands on that this is liberty, free markets, less government. And I mean, I'll give you an example. Our legislator here is run by Republicans, and their favorite thing is we want less government, less regulation. Well, then why are you regulating cannabis? Why are you regulating hemp? You're contradicting your own thing. And I reminded them that, and they're like, "Oops, blah blah blah." You know, but a lot of people will not stand up to them or challenge them. I don't mind challenging them. But you need to practice what you preach. Like I said, this country is based on free markets capitalism. Well, capitalism is you take your money and you go and sell a product, whatever. You don't have people saying what you can sell and what you can't sell and locking you up if you do. That's not what capitalism or liberty is about. So I just remind them. So I just bring people back to the law, to the Constitution, to the Bill of Rights. They want liberty in some areas, but not liberty in others. And I'm like, it doesn't work like that.
Right. This isn't a pick and choose type situation.
Right.
Let's see what we got here. Then you said Wisconsin's been the toughest one you've run into so far, right? As far as trying to hop on, getting things moving with cannabis.
They're a little stuck here. It's funny because the one thing I did notice, I really am not a big fan of Milwaukee or Wisconsin, but I mean, I've met cool people like you guys. But the thing is, they're very different here compared to the rest of the country. And I was really in shock because I lived in down south for many years, and it's a whole different breed. So when I was like, I want to go back up north. And when I came here, I was just shocked at the apathy. People, they just don't care. They don't want to stand up for their rights. They just accept anything from the government, from the police, from the legislature. I mean, like, I'm still upset about us paying for this baseball field. It's like, almost $1 billion. They get like 20 million a week to, air some of that stuff on ESPN or whatever. And I'm like, they can pay a baseball player $50 million or whatever, but then they want our tax dollars. I'm like, no. But people just accept a lot of stuff. But I really think that the tide is turning. People are changing. People are waking up. People are coming together. I'm meeting people like you and people on this podcast, and that are saying, hey, enough is enough, and we're going to do our part to change things like that. Because it has been tough in the past doesn't mean it has to stay that way. And that's what I want people to be encouraged. Your attitude makes all the difference, because we're getting ready to get some changes here. And that's why I think people, they'll get a little nervous and they'll start shaking, but ready or not, here we come.
Well, and I think it is, it feels that way. I feel stuck. I feel like, it's realizing like, okay, this isn't just going to work itself out. This is going to take us, standing up for what we believe in. And, like you say, I think cannabis legalization is just one of the few things that, we really should take a stand on, because unfortunately, I mean, you look at politics in, the United States, like, the government is pretty powerful, and I don't know that I could say, well, I know that they don't always actually have our best interest in mind, but they always can make it seem that way. And it's just, yeah, it's sad, but you gotta, we can't just hide from it and, hope everything works out. Cause as we've seen over time, I don't know, there's just a lot of stuff that makes you think out there. And, we got to try to get our voices heard. That's the only way to get things changed around here. So completely agree with you there. Got a question I had come up with for you, Kevin. What role do you see the libertarian principles playing in cannabis legalization? You kind of touched on this a little bit, but I guess specifically for here in Wisconsin and trying to get some of these knuckleheads to listen.
I've been, two things. Number one, like I said, being that connector, which is very important. Just connecting people, bringing people to, but also, and this is very important. I'm glad I just thought of that. We're not limited to just people in Wisconsin. One thing, when we were doing stuff in Georgia, we had some candidates running for office, and one thing, they began to reach out all across the country. And like I said, I've got friends and connections, allies all across the country. We don't have to just limit to the people here. I know when we have the Hemp Fest, some of my friends are coming up from Miami, from Atlanta, and from Tennessee. And, we're going to have people that are going to work with us, and people that will donate to you, that will support you, and that will fight with you. And that's very important. That's one thing that we can bring in. And once again, I mean, that support. We have a legal defense fund, that unfortunately sometimes, if, whatever happens, we try to, deal with people and to help people and be there for them. So that's very important. But also, I have to I am a public policy consultant and lobbyist kind of type person with my company, the Fortune Age. So I do have a lot of connections. I know a lot of people. Getting in the door, the right doors, is the first step. Once you get in, they might not always listen, but at least having that conversation. And talking to people. So I do have some connections, even to DC and to different places, getting speakers to come. Um, we're getting ready to have our national convention is going to be, I think it's in Atlanta this year, but we've got, Thomas Massey and people like that I don't agree with everything that, but when we bring up public freedom and liberty, they stand for a lot of this stuff. And they might not agree with the specifics. And that's another thing. You don't have to have everybody agree with you on everything. There's some people that might not want recreational, but they support medical. Take that medical support.
Right.
There's some people that don't want you smoking, but they're okay with the edibles. Take that. We want to find the common ground and work with that. But to ask your question, basically we're here to do whatever we need to do. And
Sure.
that's something that we have to be open to. A lot of times, I always teach to my clients that, we want one size to fit all. That doesn't work like that. What worked in Denver is not going to work in Wisconsin. What worked in Florida or Georgia and Alabama is not going to work here, vice versa.
Sure.
So whatever it takes, and that's true. We have to be a little malleable. Don't lock yourself into a box. Does that make sense? Don't
Yeah.
lock yourself into one way. Whatever,
Sure.
if you get a door open through music, you just be surprised at what will happen, to get people's attention and to get things going. And if that door opens, we're going to go through it. If we have to rush through it, all of us together,
Right.
it's going to be so many of us coming through, they're not going to get a chance to close it.
Right. What is that? We need a one of them rams to get the door open. We'll do it, man. We'll build one.
That's right.
Definitely. Bubba says Wisconsin is just stuck in the 50s. It feels that way sometimes. I would agree. But we'll figure it out, man. That's what we're doing. How can our listeners get involved and support Life Pack's efforts, Kevin?
Oh, that is the best question I've ever heard. We have a very basic website, and I say that because I'm not a big tech, but our website is lifepack, LYFEPAC.com. You can go there, or I suggest we have our email is info@lifepack, or even better yet, you can email me directly. I do respond to email, don't I? I'll look
Yes,
at
he
my email.
does. Yes, he
It's
does.
Kevin@lifepack.com. And just send us your email. We'll put you on our list. And you could donate. We're, like I said, right now, Bob knows we just talked this week. We're actually getting ready to raise some money so that we can actually get some professional help, so that we can get a paid lobbyist or advocacy agency to really be working on this. They have the connection, or they just have the power. What do you call it? The resources, like the computer people, the writers, the media people, the press release people, so that when people want to do stuff, when Bob and them go to do stuff, then they have people working on their behalf, even while we're sleeping. So you can go there, give us your email address. Like I said, I suggest there is an email sign up on the thing, but it's complicated. I would just say, just email me, Kevin@lifepack.com. I love to hear from people. If there's anything I can do to support you or us, just let us know. And you can donate. And we actually, have a specific cannabis fund, not a cannabis, but just, geared towards green or that kind of thing. And right now, since I'm in Wisconsin, most of it's going to go here. And like I said, if you need us, call us. I will come, I will show up, I will speak. If I can't come, there's other people that there's a lot of, I call them closet warriors. And I'm like, look, y'all need to come out the closet, but there are a lot of people who are fighting for us and support us, but they might not want their face on the news because of their job. I have a lot of friends that are actual lawyers, and
Sure.
they will take some of these cases, pro bono, or work with people. And, I understand a lot of companies are getting very tight about, your public policies and, what you do off the work, even though you're not on the clock, which I think is illegal too. But so a lot of people might not want to be seen, but you'd be surprised, so just contact me, reach out to me, and we're ready to work and do some things.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to June 8th Hemp Fest, and I'm sure we'll find a lot more ways to collaborate and work together. So, really appreciate your time, Kevin. Really glad you reached out to me, and we've been able to foster this relationship, and look forward to seeing where it goes. And I have confidence that we're going to figure out this legalization thing here in Wisconsin, man.
You're gonna figure out. I'm gonna help you.
Hey, let's get it. All right. Well, we'll let everyone
Thank you.
have a great evening. Thank you for joining us. Kevin, did you have any last words?
Nope, just that the one thing I am working on just came up today. I'll let you on a secret. We're going to be having a big debate, kind of. I call it a coming out party in Milwaukee, probably August, September, and we're going to try to get one of these college campuses, whatever, and really get all both sides in, but just mainly to get the attention out. But whatever we can do, let's do it together. I'm with you
Yeah,
guys. Let's free the
absolutely.
green of Wisconsin.
Let's go. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening. We'll see you guys Friday. We're out of
Thank
here.
you.